Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video has all the festive vibes because I read 18 Christmas books and I'm going to be ranking and reviewing them from worst to best using snowflakes as tiers. So for example, 1 snowflake is the lowest level and 5 is the highest. The snowflake level depends on what star rating I gave them. Some of these books had the exact Christmas vibe I was looking for, cosy, festive and fun, and some of them didn't really live up to the hype. Plus, I think some of them might be controversial. So I'm going to give a spoiler-free outline of each book, what I thought honestly, and who I think would enjoy it. As we get closer to the higher rated books, I'll go into a bit more detail of why they stood out to me, including my snowflake favourites. So grab yourself a warm drink, settle down, and let's start with my lowest rated books. So snowflake level 1 were all books that I rated either 3 or 3.25 stars. I liked them, but they weren't my favourites. So the first book was The Holiday, which is actually a collection of 3 different short stories by each one of these authors. So you've got Jane Green, Jennifer Coburn and Liz Island. They are all obviously set around the Christmas period, but they're also centred around relationships. They are all quite relatable. Some are a bit fun and chaotic, and they are all great palate cleansers. Whilst I wouldn't say they are must-reads, I did enjoy the stories. I think you'd like this book if you're a fan of any of the authors, or if you just want a short festive read. I rated the book 3 stars. So the next book was The Night Shift by Nancy Peach. The basic premise of this book is 2 doctors, Violet and Gus, choose to work the night shifts over the Christmassy period. They keep the reason to themselves why they've chosen to do that, but as time goes on and they get to know each other a little bit better, they wonder if perhaps they are more than colleagues here. I was actually really looking forward to reading this story, but it actually came across as quite judgy and it did annoy me because of that. The book is mainly set in the hospital they work in, so if you like medical-based dramas like ER or Grey's Anatomy, this might be the book for you. I rated the book 3 stars. Bombshell by Alison Hammond was the next book on my list. Madison is a happily married mum of 2. That is until her husband decides he needs some space and moves out. One of the reasons I liked this book was the female empowerment. I liked Madison's friends, and it really did leave you with a positive feeling afterwards. I think you'd be a big fan of this book if you're looking for a relatable story, especially if you're a mum. And also if you're listening on audio, it's definitely an easy listening read. I rated the book 3.25 stars. So now we move on to my 2 snowflake tier books. These were slightly more enjoyable than the first level. Star range is 3.5 for all. House Party by Chloe Ford is focused on Hattie, who has always fancied Freddie, who is her best friend's brother. After finding herself single after a long-term relationship, she and her friends decide to go away for the Christmas period. And guess who turns up unexpectedly? Freddie! To me, this felt very young adulty. There was lots of drinking, a lot of irresponsible behaviour. Plus, I'm not sure the book felt entirely fleshed out to me personally. I think you'd like this book if you want a very young person sort of vibe and attitude in a book. Plus, the best friend's brother trope. Book number 5 was Every Christmas Eve by Emma Heatherington. After one Christmas Eve where they helped deliver a baby foal, Lou and Ben always try to save some time for each other, especially over the Christmas holidays, until they don't. I find Emma's writing is like wearing a cherished item of clothing. It's warm and comforting. But I do have to say I prefer other books of hers to this story. I think this book will suit you if you like an Irish Christmas plus a second chance romance. Not Another Bloody Christmas by Jo Middleton is the 6th book on my list. Now this is actually the sequel to another book on the list, Happy Bloody Christmas, which is later on in the video. So I'm not going to say too much in case I spoil it. But after last year's Christmas, which was a bit stressful for them, Anna and her family decide to go away this year. However, they find themselves double booked and then one of them drops dead. I think this book had a lot of the same good points as the others, but I did prefer the story within the first book, I'm afraid. I think you'd like this book if you like a murder mystery, amateur sleuthing, while spending Christmas away from home. My seventh book is Christmas Fling by Lindsey Kelk. Laura agrees to help out Callum, who used to live in her flat, when his parents mistake her for being his fictional girlfriend, Caroline. Now, the idea is that they'll go up to Scotland, where the family are, and Caroline will be as obnoxious as possible, so therefore they don't get invited up to family dues again in Scotland. Now, normally I'm a huge fan of Lindsey's books, but this one did fall short for me, unfortunately. There are parts where there are slapstick moments, and honestly, it was always going to be hard to follow up her last Christmas book for me, which was The Christmas Wish, which I adored. I think you'd like this book if you like Scottish vibes, the fake dating trope, plus some silliness. Moving up a level to 3 Snowflakes, which are solid festive reads and all are rated 3.75 stars. So book number 8, and I think this might be a controversial one, is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. Noah is a ghost of Christmas past and he's been sent to haunt Harriet York. She's a really lovely lady, so it doesn't really make sense that he's been sent to haunt her of all people. He only has until Christmas Eve to kind of get her onto the next stage of haunting, if that makes sense. But that can't happen until he works out why he's been sent to haunt her. I have loved other books by this author, but this one just missed the mark for me, I'm afraid. It felt like there was something missing. I did still like it, just it's not a must read for me, I'm afraid. I think if you like paranormal romance, a bit of mystery, and some family drama, this might be the book for you. How to Slay at Christmas by Sarah Bonnet is book number 9. Every year, Jessica wants to play Mrs. Claus at Christmas. Her reason? No one would suspect Mrs. Claus of being a serial killer. And then you have Fern, who is beginning to loathe Christmas. And part of the reason is that even though her husband is in charge of Aylesbury Christmas Market, it's usually Fern who gets lumbered with all the work. This book encompasses Christmas with a little bit of murder, some twists, and the ending actually made this book for me. I think if you want a fun Christmas vibe mash up with a serial killer, then this could be the book for you. Book number 10 was A Winter in New York by Josie Silver. After a bad breakup, Iris moves to New York City, and whilst there she attends a Christmas festival. She recognises the entranceway of a shop, so she goes in, and in there she meets Geo. Geo is having a problem with his business, and Iris actually realises she is the only person who will be able to help him with this issue. But if she does, she's going to shatter his world. This book is exactly what the title says, A Winter in New York. So you get the Christmas vibes, the city vibes, you get gelato, but a lot of lies thrown in as well. I think you'd like this book if you want a tasty city sort of book with found family vibes. Love Under Contract by Cassie Connor is the last book in this tier. Rebecca has a one-night stand with Hudson, and after she's summoned back home due to her sister's engagement, she pays Hudson to pretend to be her fake boyfriend. Now, Rebecca is a lawyer, so she draws up a contract, and some of the clauses include no intimacy. But it's this clause she actually struggles with. Despite it clearly saying it on the cover, I didn't realise this book was going to be as spicy as it was. And personally, I prefer either clean romances or low amounts of spice. So I actually think this book would rate a lot higher if you like spice. I think you'll like this book if you like lots of spice, city vibes, and also family drama. Now we move up to Snowflake level number 4. These books are all rated 4 stars and have standout qualities to them. Book number 12 is All In for Christmas by Ginny, Baird. Paige has just set up a reading programme at the school that she works at, when all of a sudden, who does she bump into? Dean, the one who got away. Dean is now a new teacher at their school, and he gives her a staff Christmas gift. The next day, Paige has found that her whole life has changed. She's got a different job, she's got 2 kids, and oh yeah, she's married to Dean. So can Paige get back to her real life, Or is this actually the life she was meant to have in the first place? I picked this book up because it had magical realism and Christmas, and that's a great combination. This book also has a what if situation, and I do like books that makes you think what you would do in that situation. I think you'd like this book if you like alternate reality, like the film Sliding Doors, plus a mashup of Christmas. Happy Bloody Christmas by Jo Middleton. Now, you might remember I've actually reviewed the second one in the series earlier on in the video, Not Another Bloody Christmas, and obviously this is the first one in the series. Anna wakes up on Christmas Eve with a hangover following a Christmas party at their house. She's got a list of things she needs to do, like prepare for the Christmas dinner and wrap the presents. So the last thing she needs to do is to find Santa stabbed in her larder. Now, I'm a big fan of amateur sleuthing in books, and I really do find Anna's very relatable, especially as a woman and a mum. I think you'll be a fan of this book if you like things like Knives Out or Richard Osman's books. So now we move on to the top tier of snowflakes, 5 snowflakes. These are my absolute favourites and are must-reads for Christmas. I'll be giving a bit more detail for these books from now on. Book number 14 is Lovelight Farms by B.K. Borison, and this is the second book of the authors in this video, the first being Good Spirits. Stella's Christmas tree farm is struggling a bit, not only financially but due to a string of other issues as well, like raccoon invaders and missing orders. To win some prize money, Stella has entered a social media competition to keep the farm afloat. The only problem is Stella has lied a little bit. To make the farm seem a bit more romantic, she says that she runs the farm with her boyfriend. Now, with the visit from the social media influencer imminent, can Stella find someone to fit the fake boyfriend role? I really enjoyed this book. I mean, you can't get much more Christmassier than a Christmas tree farm, right? Plus, you have a couple you can root for, a mystery to solve, and a really cute family of cats. What else could you want? I recommend this book if you like the friends to lovers trope, plus also thrown in with the Christmassy vibes of a small town. Here are some of my favourite quotes from Lovelight Farms. I've always loved Christmas and everything that comes with it. It's the one time of year where everything feels like magic, hopeful, earnest and kind. The whole world slows down and believes for once. It's almost been 10 years since my mum passed away. I like to think everything happens for a reason, but I still don't understand why she had to go so soon. I saw a lot of this book last year, so I was really intrigued whether it'd live up to the hype. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. Maggie reluctantly attends a Christmas house party, but when she gets there, she realises that her rival writer Ethan has also been invited as well. When the host of the party mysteriously disappears from a locked room, Maggie thinks maybe this is a test. But when actually people start being struck down, then Maggie starts to wonder if actually they're all in danger. Let me start by saying that this is such a fun book. You've got the mystery, you've got the rom-com vibes, you've got rivals, you've got being stuck in a mansion due to the snow. You also have suspense, trust issues, and Christmas. I thought the way that books and writing were incorporated into the story was actually one of my favourite elements in the book. I think you'll really like this book if you like things like Knives Out, romantic comedies, He Falls First romances. I rated the book 4.25 stars. Here are some of my favourite quotes from The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. Ms. Chase, of course I'm not offended that you'd accuse me of murder. I'm offended you'd think I'd be bad at it. He kicked and the wood splintered as the door sprang open, ricocheting on its hinges. Oh look, she said, the door's open. Book number 16 is 12 Ways to Kill Your Family at Christmas by Natasha Bache. Olivia and her family are moving to Australia, but before they do, they have actually agreed to spend some time with her husband Miles's rich controlling family on their estate. They're cut off due to bad weather, and when an accident happens, they assume that's what it is, just an accident. However, then the next body turns up, and the next. I had such fun with this book. It's really fast paced, it starts with a bang. Plus, if you ever get disappointed in books that only have one murder, this is a book for you. There are loads. There's lots of dark humour, you get rich, horrible families, and you get murders and twists. I think you'll really like this book if you like dark humour, horrible families, and murder, obviously. I rated the book 4.25 stars. Here are some of my favourite quotes from 12 Ways to Kill Your Family at Christmas. Breathe in to calm my nerves. I went over my affirmations. You are safe. You are loved. You have nothing to hide. Well, safe except for the fact I was being accused of committing the brutal murders of 10 of my family members in cold blood. I didn't want to tell him what I was really thinking, that I loved him dearly, but I wish he'd left me at home so I could finish my damn novel before Christmas. Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace is book number 17. Clara has always wanted to climb the corporate ladder at her family's toy business, Davenport Innovation, but to be considered for a promotion, she's actually been tasked with smoothing things over with some people who've accused the company of stealing a toy design from them. This book has all the Christmassy vibes. It has toy making, snowmen building, romance with the grumpy sunshine trope. I was also really fond of Clara in the book. I just think she's so warm and likeable. I think you'll really like this book if you like small town vibes, warm characters, and toys. I rated the book 4.5 stars. Here are some of my favourite quotes from Holiday Ever After. What's in Maine? She tilts her head, a soft smile on her lips. Lobster, rain, people who mind their own business. I raise my hands in surrender. Fair. You won't find people who mind their business around here. I can't remember the last time I felt so drawn to someone. I can't remember the last time I felt disappointed that someone didn't kiss me at the end of the night. And so on to the highest rated book on my Christmas book list. Drumroll please. We have book number 18, which is The Kill Clause by Lisa Unger. The funny thing is, this is actually only a short story, and it was on Amazon free reads as well. I thought it'd be a great start to my Christmas books reads, and I was right. It's Christmas time, and Paige has one last thing to do before Christmas Day: kill someone. Paige is a contract killer, and she has one last mark to do before Christmas Day. The problem is she can't seem to get her target alone. His daughter always seems to be with him. The next time she actually arrives at his house, she has a surprise waiting for her. Will she be able to finish the job before Christmas time? This book is full of Christmassy vibes, but it also has a subplot of romance as well. For such a short story, it's actually quite jam-packed, and I really loved the writing style. I hadn't actually read any of Lisa's books before, but now I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for them. I think you'll like this book if you like fast-paced, action, thrillery murders. I rated the book 4.75 stars, but just also bear in mind, obviously, it is only a short story as well. Here are some of my favourite quotes from The Kill Clause. I like to think that Santa and I have a lot in common. First, there's the breaking and entering. At this, we both have special skills honed over time. The other thing Santa and I have in common is a list. I know if you've been naughty or nice. In my case, if you've been very naughty and managed to anger the wrong people, I may be coming to see you in the night. I know when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. But that's where the similarities end. Santa comes to give. I take. So, that's all the books that I've read for this video. Did any of the ratings surprise you? And also, are any of these Christmas books on your Christmas list? If you have liked the video, please do like and subscribe. It does help out the channel a lot. In addition, if you are on Instagram, all the book reviews will be going up there shortly, including pros and cons for each individual book. Details will be in the description of this video. If you enjoy Christmas books, then I think you might like this video here. Otherwise, YouTube thinks you'll like this video here.